Just ahead on retirement results, get out that broom and dustpan because it's time for some spring cleaning. Actually, we'll be talking about cleaning up your finances on this week's show. Plus, are pensions making a comeback? We'll dive in and we'll test your financial knowledge with another round of everybody's favorite financial game show, Right or Wrong. Retirement Results starts right now. Welcome once again to Retirement Results. I'm Matt McClure here alongside Ford Stokes, our Chief Financial Advisor and also the CEO and founder of Active Wealth Management. Ford, joining you here each and every week for the show is just an absolute pleasure.
Well, it's great to have you. It's also great to have a licensed financial advisor co-hosting the show with me. I'm so glad you work with us on our Active Wealth Management team. It's also cool to have somebody that's been a reporter for New York One on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange for over a year. Doing this job now, it's definitely paying dividends for you and for our firm and also for our clients. But again, really look forward to diving into the spring cleaning episode of Retirement Results.
Yeah, that's right. You know, people think about spring cleaning like, oh yes, do I have to clean? Well, now we're going to talk about cleaning in a very good way. That is cleaning up your finances so that you are set up for a better future. So this is all looking forward, all about the positive things that can happen in your future if you take care of them right now. And speaking of which, we have a great quote of the week to share with you this week.
Here's our financial wisdom quote of the week.
This time around, it comes from Mahatma Gandhi. So some definite words of wisdom this time around. Mahatma Gandhi said this: "The future depends on what you do today." Boy, that was very, very true there.
No question. You got to take action.
Yeah.
You actually haven't made a decision until you take an action. And so we would encourage you to take Mahatma Gandhi's advice and go ahead and take action and reach out to us at retirementresults.com or call the phone number on the screen. We'd love to talk to you. Happy to help you get started on your road to successful retirement.
Yeah, I mean, you'll notice there he did not say your future depends on what you think about today or what you consider today. Future depends on what you do today. So yeah, absolutely, taking action is so important. And that's a lot of what we're going to go into today in this spring cleaning edition of Retirement Results here. 7 money moves to make now so that you can feel better about your financial future. Number 1 is, it's springtime, obviously. If you look back, remember January 1st and all of those New Year's resolutions that people made. The gyms were just crawling with people. Now they're probably empty. I don't know because I haven't gone at any point in time this year. So, which is all on me. But those financial New Year's resolutions, that's what we want people to revisit in our number 1 step.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I went 60 days, the first 60 days of 2024 without drinking Coca-Cola, which is a big deal for me.
That's huge. That's huge, folks.
Yeah, and then I fell off the wagon a little bit and got to get back on the wagon, right? So, but yeah, you really should show up and finish on trying to get started with your spring cleaning plan for your retirement plan, but just, you're going to feel better. And also it's part of the American dream to be debt free, have a house that's paid off, have your retirement set where you can enjoy retirement with your spouse, travel a good amount, spend time with your family, all those things. And money really helps all that happen.
Yeah. And taking advantage of a free and no obligation consultation with us at Active Wealth Management is really a great place to start on that journey. Talk for a second here before we move on to number 2. If people reach out, what they get and how much of a value that really is to them.
So it's, first of all, I'm so glad you mentioned that. They get basically a $1,500 value. We start with a Social Security maximization report, what we call an RSSA roadmap. Number 2 is they get a retirement income gap analysis done so they can understand whether you start with a positive income surplus or a negative income gap in retirement. Number 3 is we're going to give them a financial plan to their 95th birthday with their current plan that has nothing to do with us. Then we're going to give them, number 4 is going to be a retirement plan all the way to their 95th birthday with our recommended portfolios. And number 5 is giving them the same retirement plan to the 95th birthday, but with a strategic Roth ladder conversion.
Yeah.
And we'll do all of that absolutely at no cost to them because we're fiduciaries. We've got to put their needs ahead of our own.
Absolutely.
We want to make sure they've got the information they need, Matt, to make an informed financial decision if they want to work with us.
Yeah.
Always looking for a great fit. We don't really lose clients. Usually people stay with us for a very, very long time, but we want to make sure that it gets started the right way so they're happy and we're happy as well.
Yeah, 100%. And folks, if you want to get started on that road, you go to retirementresults.com and you can click on the contact page there, reach out for that free consultation. You can also scan the QR code on your screen. Just take out your phone, open up the camera, and point it right there at the screen, and it'll do the rest for you. You also have the number there on your screen to give us a call. Well, number 2 here in our spring cleaning checklist is cleaning out your financial junk drawer. You know, we all have that drawer that just kind of accumulates stuff. And sometimes a lot of that stuff might be some important financial documents or bills to pay or things that you need to get caught up on or take care of that eventually just kind of go by the wayside. You think you'll take care of them someday, but they're still in that junk drawer.
Well, I'll give you an example, like orphan 401ks. We provide free 401k reviews for everybody, absolutely at no cost. Whoever's watching can pick up the phone and give us a call, a phone number on the screen, or visit retirementresults.com. But we'll help them figure out what to do to take control of that orphan 401k and invest it strategically and also protect it from downside risk if they want to do that. But we'll get them started with their own IRA so they can do that just with a nice rollover into an IRA with us. And there's no tax event there either, Matt.
Yeah, which is great news for everyone involved, except maybe for the IRS. They might be, a little bit upset about it, but and for all of us, it's great. Number 3 is to pay yourself first by maximizing your retirement contributions. You want to make sure that you're putting enough in.
Yeah, especially if you're working for an employer and they give you 100% match, either up to 3% or 6%, that's 100% growth on your money. And also what we like to say is you've earned that money.
Yeah.
So go ahead and take advantage of the money you've earned and make sure you're doing the match at least up to 3% or 6%. That'd be a really good idea. Next is if you can get to that 10 or 15% level, pay yourself first and living off the rest, you'll really be a lot happier. The happiest folks we work with when they're in their 50s going towards a retirement age of say 65 or 67, they really like to be able to put 20% away. Pay yourself first and then live off the rest.
Yeah. Future you will thank you big time for that, 100%. Well, folks, that is going to do it for the first segment of the show, but there's a lot more to come, so stick around. We've got more spring cleaning to do when Retirement Results continues.
Good.
Scan the QR code on the screen with your smartphone to visit retirementresults.com/plan. That's retirementresults.com/plan. Our team is standing by and ready to start building your successful retirement plan today.
Welcome back. This is Retirement Results with Ford Stokes, the CEO and founder of Active Wealth Management. I'm Matt McClure. I am also a licensed fiduciary financial advisor with Active Wealth Management. We really appreciate you joining us here today for the show. And we're talking about some spring cleaning for your finances. We've gone through our first 3 steps of that so far here on the show, Ford. And next, we've got number 4, which is make sure that your beneficiaries are named, number 1, and up to date. Really importantly, number 2.
No question. We also provide estate services by working with licensed attorneys with a service that we provide at a lower cost. So if people want to get started on that will or that revocable trust or irrevocable trust, we're happy to help them do that. All you've got to do is reach out to us at retirementresults.com. That's one. The next is, when you've got those transfer on death accounts, whether it's an investment account, your IRA or your 401k, you've got to make sure that you've got at least your primary beneficiaries and your contingent beneficiaries named, especially for married couples. Let's say you're traveling together. If something happens when you were traveling, it'd be nice to make sure that your kids were named as contingent beneficiaries so that that money can pass on outside of the probate process and also reduce the cost. We see a lot of estate attorneys, when they're helping with the probate process, they're lumping in those transfer on death accounts as the overall value of the entire estate, and they're charging 1 to 3% of the entire estate to take that all the way through probate. And our concern is that that's a little bit extra cost that your heirs don't necessarily need to pay, but make sure your beneficiaries are named on all of your accounts, even your checking account.
Yeah.
That's a good spring cleaning thing to do. A lot of people, they'll fill out an account really quickly and they'll move on. Go back and do that and try to at least name your primary and contingent beneficiaries on all of your financial accounts.
Yeah, like you say, you want to avoid the probate process, because I've had a couple of former coworkers a few years back who were both actually had that death of a loved one in the family, and it was a whole, they had to go to court several days and all of that. It was not a fun thing. So, and you want to make sure as you are alive now, set it up ahead of time so that you know that your wishes are going to be carried out the way that you want them to be. And that actually brings us to number 5 here, which is, as you alluded to a moment ago, dusting off that estate plan or establishing one for the very first time.
Yeah, the best way to do that is just give us a call. We can actually help you with your estate plan. We type in all the information into our system. A licensed attorney reviews all the information, what assets, your asset schedule, everything else that you want to bequeath to your loved ones, and actually transfer that upon your death with your loved ones. We'll help you do all that. We don't share fees with attorneys. The attorneys handle all that. We work with licensed attorneys in each state that we operate in. Most of the states we're in are Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. And so we want to do everything we can to help you get started with the right path, get broom swept clean a little bit, doing this spring cleaning with your estate plan. Because if you don't have a will, please don't let the state be determining which heirs are going to get what. And also when that happens, generally it just goes equally to the kids, if those are the ones that are inheriting. We've also seen some nightmares where people had an old will where their ex-spouse was still in the will and things like that. That's not what they want to happen. So let's make sure that we get the will or trust up to date during this 2024 spring.
Yeah, absolutely right. That's a great thing to do as part of your spring cleaning, as you say. And another great thing is number 6, and that is to have your entire portfolio, not just your estate plan, not just any annuities you might have, not just your investments in stocks or bonds or whatever you might have investments in, the entire portfolio of your financial life reviewed by a licensed financial advisor.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to go it alone. There's just so many factors and facets to retirement, but there's income concerns. There's Social Security. Trying to maximize that Social Security income benefit is a big element to retirement. Then also trying to figure out what's going on with Medicare and healthcare during retirement, especially after you're Medicare age eligible at age 65. You got to figure those things out. And we can help with all those things, but also you need to get a higher average annual rate of return. You need to also reduce your risk level as measured by standard deviation, because you want to get that great balance between reward and risk a little bit. So we want to do everything we can to do all those things for our clients. And a lot of our clients don't do that. Most clients that are trying to do it themselves, they don't do it themselves very long.
Yeah.
Especially those males that want to make sure they take care of the spouses later. They do come and see us, and they have no idea what their expense ratio is. They have no idea what their standard deviation is. They don't know their correlation of their assets. They don't know if they've got a positive retirement income surplus or a negative retirement income gap. They really want to understand how to maximize their Social Security income as well. Those are all elements that we're going to help them with.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can, of course, reach out to schedule that free, no obligation consultation. Just take out your phone, point it right at the screen with the camera open, and scan that QR code. You can also go to retirementresults.com. And our last spring cleaning tip here is kind of a fun one. At least it's my favorite of all of these, just because it is the most fun. And that is, we're talking about vacations, right? So going from spring cleaning to spring break a little bit. A lot of those vacations this year are behind us. But if you take the time now to go ahead and plan for next year's spring break vacation or another vacation at a different time next year, you can really save quite a bit of money.
Yeah, what's interesting is we saw a survey, that had, it was a survey that showed that people spend more time planning their spring break or summer vacation than they do in planning their retirement.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to keep it fun, want to go ahead and do all that stuff, but let's do everything we can to also plan retirement as well. But enjoy that, but also look for different deals too.
Yeah.
When you're traveling, try to use things like Priceline or Hotwire or whatever, and try to reduce the cost, maybe consider a VRBO or or Airbnb or something like that instead of a hotel, and try to save on some of those fees and taxes and the high. I can't believe how costly hotels are these days.
It's really true. I mean, you can save a lot of money by doing something like you just talked about, and getting that sort of a discount on the room by doing something else besides staying at one of the big resort hotels with all the fees. The resort fees and all of the above are just ridiculous these days.
No doubt.
Well, stick around, folks. There is much more to come here on Retirement Results. When we come back, we're going to talk about pensions. Could they be making a comeback? Kinda. We'll talk about it, explain, coming out.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back once again to Retirement Results. I'm Matt McClure here alongside Ford Stokes, our Chief Financial Advisor, the CEO of Active Wealth Management as well. And we've been talking about some spring cleaning for your finances today. And of course, you can go to retirementresults.com and review some things that we've talked about. You can also reach out to us for a free consultation, and we'll go more into that momentarily. Right now, what we're going to talk about, though, is the old pension. And I say the old pension because it seems like a lot more employers used to offer pensions back in the day. Right now, I believe latest statistic is less than 14% of the companies listed on the S&P 500 offer a pension to their employees. They've largely gone the way of the dinosaur. At least one big employer, though, has brought the pension back recently. IBM said that it is bringing back its employee pension that they got rid of, I think, something like 2 decades ago, bringing it back. People love their pensions, but not a lot of people have them.
That's right. You can also generate your own personal pension through Active Wealth Management. We're happy to help you do that by investing into a fixed index annuity and taking the bond portion of your portfolio and converting that into a fixed index annuity, and also deleting the advisory and portfolio fees that many people may be paying, get more fee efficient with it, and also get a higher payout as well. A lot of the pensions, and we really like pensions. We like being able to generate your own personal pension. Also, anybody that's viewing us and watching our television show, if you've got a pension, you want to try to figure out whether you're getting a lump sum, you should take your lump sum or turn on your pension. I would encourage you to go ahead and reach out to us at retirementresults.com, and we'll go ahead and get started and help you with that pension review or your 401k review, either way. But a lot of pensions that are offered by employers are basically funded and structured inside of a product called a SPIA, a single premium immediate annuity. And those products are really good at paying our money back to us, but they're not really good at growing our money. We recommend taking that lump sum, getting a 20 to 25% immediate bonus into the income account, which is where you're going to be drawing your money out of when you turn on income from your annuity or you annuitize the annuity. That's all annuitizing means, folks. It just means you're turning on the income, right?
Like a big fancy term.
Right. That's all it is. It's just try to simple things here on the Retirement Results television show. And then get that bonus also, but get index-linked growth. So you can get market-like gains without the market risk. Also, those products, those fixed index annuity products that we like to invest in and help create the personal pension, those products are absolutely 100% financial reserve protected, whereas a bank CD has got a 3 to 10% financial reserve. So personally, I would rather invest in a 100% financial reserve product that also is index linked that can give me greater growth.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is something. Talking about the aspect of peace of mind there, because that 100% reserve requirement for insurance companies and annuity companies that issue those types of products, that can give peace of mind. But then also in retirement, we're talking about that income stream that you can never outlive. That income is going to last as long as you do. And then perhaps beyond. There are options there, for like a lifetime income stream plus a certain number of years, different options that are out there. But when we talk about that, you really can't put a price on it.
That's right. And we just don't want our clients to have to be looking at the stock ticker every day. And it's for us, we feel more comfortable as fiduciaries. We're putting the needs of our clients ahead of our own to be able to take 20, 30, 40, even 50% of their assets and put that into a fixed index annuity where we're protecting the income portion of the portfolio where we know that income is going to be there. I work with an auditor who used to work with a Fortune 500 company, and he says, I'm getting this fixed index annuity because I want to be smiling in the bread line. If there is a bread line later, if the economy goes down, I want to be smiling that I'm going to get paid. Babe Ruth invested in annuities and that allowed him to not be destitute after he was done playing, after he got sick. That was a huge deal. And so even the stock market crash of 1929 didn't affect his retirement because he invested in fixed index annuities.
Go to retirementresults.com, scan the QR code on your screen, just take out your phone and point the camera at it, and it will do the rest. Or you can just give us a call at the number that's also right there on your screen. Well, stick around. There is much more retirement results to come. We do have a new edition of Right or Wrong right after this. Sam Davis will join us and lead us in that financial game show. Stick around. We've got more retirement results after this. Welcome back to Retirement Results. I'm Matt McClure, a licensed financial advisor with Active Wealth Management, here with our CEO, our founder, Ford Stokes at Active Wealth as well. And we're joined by the one, the only, Mr. Sam Davis, who comes in every time and leads us in Right or Wrong. It's a kind of a game where we like to bust financial myths here.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be here once again to wrap up the show. You both have been giving the listeners and viewers some great tips about spring cleaning for their finances. And so I'm here to help underscore some of the finer points from today's episode.
Yeah, let's clean it up some more, shall we?
Yeah.
That's right.
First question is for you, Ford. Right or wrong, retirees' monthly Social Security paychecks will likely be enough to cover their monthly expenses in retirement.
Basically, unfortunately, that is wrong. It's about the average Social Security monthly income benefit is around $1,765 across the United States. Pretty difficult to live on $1,765 for an entire 30-day period here in the United States. So you're going to need other sources to supplement your income, whether that's your assets or a fixed index annuity, creating your own pension and savings, checking, retirement and rental income from different rental properties, whatever that is. We got to make sure that we're doing a really good job at focusing on that retirement income plan where you've got a positive retirement income surplus that outpaces your expenses versus that negative retirement income gap, which could widen with inflation growing as well.
Yeah, so important. Social Security alone is not enough to constitute a comprehensive retirement plan. Yeah. Matt, the next one's for you. Right or wrong, let's take a look at this scenario. If your portfolio experiences a 20% downturn and then recovers 20% the following year, it will return to its original value. Is that right or wrong?
Well, unfortunately, that one is wrong. It's called sequence of returns risk is kind of the concept that we're talking about here. And so if you have, let's say, that 20% loss in your particular portfolio, and then the next year you see a 20% gain, you're not back up to where you were. As a matter of fact, you would have to gain 25% to be back to where you were previously. Another example of this that I think really hits home for a lot of people is if, like happened in around 2008, the S&P 500 lost a little bit more than 50% at one point in time of its value. If your investment portfolio lost 50% of its value, you would actually have to gain 100% to then get back up just to even. So its sequence of returns risk can mean a lot to your investment portfolio. And we really look for strategies and ways to help protect our clients from that.
That's right. It's really a big concern for people. Like in 2008, from March 08 to March 09, it lost 50.1% of its value. The S&P 500 did, as Matt talked about. That means you've got a 50% less principal to grow on. That's why you need 100% growth to come all the way back. One of the strategies is to really protect the income portion of the portfolio, make sure that that's at least locked up where you cannot lose any principal in that. And all people got to do is reach out to us at retirementresults.com, click that schedule a consultation button, or call the phone number on the screen. We're happy to talk to you and help you avoid some of that sequence of return risk for at least a portion of your portfolio.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. It's so important because most people should actually be looking to reduce the risk as they near that retirement date. And Ford, I've got one more for you. Is this right or wrong? target date funds should be avoided when selecting funds in your IRA or 401k because of their lack of customization, hidden fees, and unpredictable returns.
Yeah, I would say let's do everything we can to avoid target date funds. They're usually easy to select when we're just joining an employer or something like that. They were set up that way on purpose because the employer plans that made it easier on them from a labor perspective, a calculation perspective, and also allow them to load more mutual funds or even bond funds that they're making expense ratios within. It is a real concern for me. As the markets go down, as they did in 2022, you'll see your allocation continue to grow in bonds. And here's one really interesting fact about, from a performance perspective, on target date funds. The 2030 fund in 2022 did twice as bad as most of the 2050 funds did in total performance. And the 2050 funds were supposed to be more risky because they were more heavily invested in equities. That shows you how bad the bond market has done over the last 3 years. In fact, the 2022 year represents the worst year in the last 42 years for that 60-40 portfolio.
Yeah, when we see people have too much allocated in bonds or target date funds, those are some red flags. So if that's you, definitely call the number on the screen and have us take a look at your portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sam, Ford, and I all look forward to working with our viewers. We absolutely, love when you reach out. Get in touch with us, sign up for that free consultation. You can do that on the website. You can also do it on the phone. Just call the number on your screen, or you can pick up your phone, open up the camera instead of the phone app, open up the camera, scan your screen, and you'll recognize the QR code there and take you straight to the website. Sam, thank you once again. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, happy to be here.
We'll have you back again next week. Ford, thank you as always. And thank you for joining us for another edition of Retirement Results. Really do appreciate your time as well. We know it's precious, and we thank you for spending at least a little bit of it here with us. We'll see you back here next week for more Retirement Results. For Ford Stokes and Sam Davis, I'm Matt McClure. We'll see you next time.
Visit retirementresults.com/plan. Our team is standing by and ready to start building your successful retirement plan today.
Ford Stokes and Active Wealth Management are not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Information provided is not intended as tax or legal advice and should not be relied on as such. You're encouraged to seek tax or legal advice from an independent professional. Any comments regarding safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims-paying ability of the issuing company and are not offered by Brookstone. Any bonuses mentioned may be subject to additional restrictions and regulations based on the offering annuity company. You may not receive the bonuses if the contract is fully surrendered or if traditional annuitization payments are taken. And if the policy is partially surrendered, it could result in a partial loss of bonuses. Because these are bonus annuities that may include higher surrender charges, longer surrender charge periods, lower caps, higher spreads, or other restrictions that are not included in similar annuities that don't offer a bonus feature.
Registered investment advisors and investment advisor representatives act as fiduciaries for all of our investment management clients. We have an obligation to act in the best interest of our clients and to make full disclosure of any conflicts of interest if any exist.